Welcome to my home. This is Alba Weinman, and we are in Micanopy, Florida, which is in north central Florida. I wanted to say a few words to you today to help those who are experiencing similar things that I experienced when I was younger. When I was a little girl, I thought that I was the most shyest person on earth. I was afraid of everybody, and the only people I trusted were my parents and my sister. And I never understood why children enjoyed playing with other children. I never understood why children enjoyed school. I never understood why I was so afraid of life. Well, many decades later, I realized that I wasn't the only one. But I always felt very different. I always felt like I didn't belong. I always felt like I just didn't want to be here. But I'm not a curious person by nature, and my life just kind of went along, and I made some friends, which were, I call them misfits just like me. They were also introverted and different than others, and that's what saved me. I got to meet others just like me, and I got to break out of my shell. I know you're not going to believe this, but I cried every day in school up until the 3rd grade. Up until I was about 9, I really disliked being in the energy of other people. Now I can say it with those terms, but I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing there. I didn't learn like other people. I didn't understand how they got the information and were able to understand the teacher and actually take action. So my counselors in school told my parents that I was retarded, that I was not going to go very far in school, and so thus they treated me very differently. And I kind of skimmed my way through school without having to work too much because they didn't expect much of me. When anybody asked me what I wanted to do when I graduated high school, I just wanted to work in an office. I just wanted to help other people. That was it. And the reason is that because my parents only had a 5th grade education. They were very smart, but they didn't graduate school. So my goal was just to graduate high school and work in an office because they had to work in factories. Now, after I graduated high school, I realized that there was something about me different in the workforce. I was able to see things differently than the people who worked there. Now, mind you, I went through whole 12 years of school being told that I was slow, that I was different, that I didn't learn the same way. And when I got out into the workforce, I realized I did things very different than other people, and I saw things very differently than other people. And I immediately started working on procedures manuals and techniques, and I always wanted to find a way to improve what other people were doing. And that became my passion, is to look at a situation, I would see it from a bird's eye view, and make it better. So as I went from job to job to job, every job I left totally different than what was taught to me and what the job description actually said, because I would make it better, I would improve it, I would make the job more robust. And usually they had to replace me with 2 people because I do things very quickly and efficiently and different than other people. When I'm on target, I get things done. So life took me through a lot of different journeys. I it was like a roller coaster, actually. And I think most people's lives are like this. You go up and then you come back down, you crash again. And that was my lesson in life. That was all about learning what life was about. So I realized that I could use this experience of life to help other people. And I was doing that in my job. I was actually coaching people that I worked with, coaching them about life. And I realized that as I was coaching them, their life was getting better because I was inspiring them. So I went to a coaching course and learned how to coach people. But even though that was very successful, my pattern was I wanted to do better. I wanted to improve the coaching. And that's when I found Dolores Cannon. When I heard her talking, I realized that I could take what I was using, my coaching experience, my life experience, and get deep into a person's soul to find out what was really going on. And once I learned how to do QHHT, I did the same thing that I do with all of my other jobs. I couldn't stop there. I had to improve. I had to keep learning. I had to keep trying different things. I had to perfect it even more, change things up. That's why I didn't fit in the QHHT world anymore. I had to do my own thing. So I did become a certified hypnotherapist. I went to a school here in Florida. I also studied with other hypnotists, Aurelio Mejia, who is a hypnotherapist in Colombia. And I've also studied with Dr. Jose Luis Cabuli, who is from Argentina, and he does a very intense past life therapy technique, which is what I'm using now. So as I have expanded with all of my teachings, all of my experience, I keep doing more and more and more. Just last year, I discovered the sound of frequency. And if you can see behind me, there's some wind chimes back here. I fell in love with the sound of wind chimes. And I wanted to incorporate the sound and frequency of this beautiful music into my techniques. So I bought some tuning forks. So now I incorporate the tuning forks in with my sessions. Where this is going, I don't know. Because as I told you my story, I never stop. I'm constantly finding new ways of improving my technique, of trying new things. And this is who I am. So when someone asks me to teach them to do what I do, I can't, because I'm constantly changing, constantly improving, constantly trying things out. And when things don't work out, I try something else. So I'd like to invite you to paint outside the lines, to draw outside the lines, to try new things. There's no way that you can fail if you feel inspired to try something. If it doesn't work out, try something different. This has been my whole life. It's up and down all the time. So, are there failures in my life? Absolutely. Are there failures in my hypnosis session? That depends on what your expectations are. It's always an experience, and I think that you should enjoy every experience that you have. Right now, I am enjoying this beautiful land, the sounds of nature, of birds all around me, of the wind blowing, of nature. This has been a great desire of mine, to live in a beautiful place. So I'd like to invite you to come visit me in Micanopy, Florida. I do hold gatherings here occasionally now, where you can do group regressions under these beautiful trees, and we can spend time with each other, with others that are just like you, and just enjoy the healing nature all around you. I still do some online sessions, not as many as I did before, but if you are interested in a session with me, just visit my website, albaweinman.com, sign up for a newsletter. The newsletter comes out every month, and it contains a link to a calendar of next month's sessions. So it is almost like a lottery to get the session, but I have delegated that to my divine team, that whoever is ready to have a session with me will get the session. So thank you for watching, and I really appreciate you sitting through this whole thing, and much love to you. Bye-bye.